What's up, everybody? AJ Writes Crypto here. Could not be more excited to get into today's video because today's video is no other than a Solana price prediction. This is something I've done in the past. Just 5 months ago, I did a Solana price prediction, but the ecosystem has changed. The state of crypto and the state of Solana has changed drastically from 5-6 months ago to right now. I absolutely have to revise this price prediction. I mean, this is a coin that was barely $20 September, October last year. It's February 24 now, and Solana has pumped well over 400% in the past 130 days. The institutions have their eyes peeled on Solana. They always have. They don't even care about the outages. Since the last outage, which was the first one in a while, but since the last outage, Solana has gone up since the last outage. People are looking past the flaws and looking into the future, and that's what we're going to do right here, right now. Let's get it.
At you with the week 12 portfolio
Havoc cycle has worked out every time. And what is the ultimate goal for Algorand? And where do you see it in 5 years? So the first thing we have to do here is go back and look at the conditions for Solana that took it to its previous all-time high, which was on November 6, 2021 of $258. Right now, I want to point out that Solana's supply is 437.3 million, okay? But what was Solana's supply back in November of 2021? Its all-time high was November 6th. This right here is a screenshot from November 7th. So the day after its all-time high, Solana's circulating supply was 302.5 million. The supply has grown over 44% since its all-time high to now. So of course, the market cap is going to do a lot of extra work to catch up to where it was before. And not only that, Solana's supply is going to continue to grow between now and Q4 of 2025, which is the projected all-time high, which is a year and a half after the Bitcoin halving coming up here in a couple months. I want to put in perspective how much this increased supply is going to make a difference with Solana moving forward. Like I said, the all-time high before was $258. This right here is a chart of not Solana's price, but Solana's market cap. As you can see right up here, this yellow line represents its all-time high, right around $81 billion. It currently sits at $50 billion. But so let's go check out and do some moon math at thecoinperspective.com. Right here is the supply as it is right now. I'm going to put in, roughly $81 billion. All right. And Solana, which was once 258 with that same market cap, would only be $185. Just to put in perspective, and Solana, the thing is, Solana's supply is going to continue to grow between now and Q4 of 2025. So I want to look into what Solana's supply will be by the time we get there. So first, let's talk about how Solana's inflation schedule actually works and where I went wrong with the previous price prediction. In the previous price prediction, I predicted that Solana's supply by the top of the next bull run would be 455 million. I did that wrong because I went off of the Solana Compass website. The way it works is the initial inflation was 8%, and then every epoch year, not every year, but epoch year, it goes down 15%, where the current inflation rate is 5.4%, okay? But when you actually go and look at the actual gain of the supply, you'll see from 21 to 22, it gained 18%. From 22 to 23, it went up 19%. And from 23 to 24, it went up 17%. So wait a minute. Why is it going up 17, 18% when on the website it says the inflation rate is, currently 5.4%? Why is that? And this is because Solana does not have a max supply. Right here on CoinGecko, the max supply is infinity. It is one of those coins that can just keep going on and on and on forever. Yes, it will curve off slowly over time. It will. But the problem with Solana is the known unknown of Solana is that right here you can see that 23% of the total Solana supply is not in circulation. And, it's a sort of a linear type unlock. As you can see right here, the unlock schedule will happen slowly over time. And there's also some days that unlock pretty heavily as well. As you can see right here on SolanaCompass.com, the 7th of every month, right here, March 7th, April 7th, May 7th. The 7th of every month is a heavy unlock day for Solana for the planned unlocks. But this does not include Alameda unlocks, excluding Alameda. So how can we learn more about the Alameda unlocks? Well, right here In the State of Solana Q4 report from Masari, there's a lot of really good stuff in here, by the way, but if you scroll down here, it says right here, related stories in Q3 was what would happen to the Alameda FTX Solana, now controlled by the FTX estate. Alameda and FTX bought over 57 million Solana from the Solana Foundation and Solana Labs. However, these tokens are subject to various unlock schedules, with the average unlock being in Q4 of 2025. That really is the gist of it. A lot of this Alameda Solana is going to come into supply eventually by Q4 of 2025, which is kind of a bummer because, you know, that's supposed to be the top of the bull market. What I'm saying here is that when I did my prediction back at Hit Network, I went off of just the normal inflation rate and what that schedule was supposed to do. I did not take into account how much stake Solana was also going to come into the supply, how heavy it's coming into the supply. And the whole point of this entire rant is how much more Solana's supply is really going to grow between right now and the projected top of the bull run. And this really matters. So before I get into the estimation on what the supply is projected to be by the top of the next bull run, I really want to point this out to you. Right here is not the Solana price, but the Solana market cap chart that I showed you earlier in the show. And this is how much the supply matters, because look at, you know, right here when the supply was in this little chop box, a little box of chop, you know, it lasted right in this box of chop for, you know, about 55 days. All right. In this box of chop. And now look at where we are right now. Look at where we are right now. We are in another box of chop. And I am talking, these levels line up perfect. Look at this. See this box of chop, that yellow line right there? And the bottom of it even. Look how well this lines up. And look, it looks like even with a 5-day cross on the EMA right there, it looks like we are going to continue up. But do you know what's funny about these two boxes of chop is when you look at the actual Solana chart, here's the box of chop. And here's where we are now. Do you know why? They're side by side. The levels are the same on the market cap chart, but they're not the same on the actual chart because the supply has grown. I cannot stress how much this matters, but at the same time, when you look at the market cap chart, this thing really looks like it's about to break through the support resistance at 53 billion and could probably head back up to 80 billion relatively fast. I mean, think about it. Look how long this box of chop lasted last time. From here and here until where it broke out was 55 days exactly. When we measure from where it came here to where it is now, it has been 60 days. I feel like if the timeline is somewhat the same, this thing could be breaking back out. Maybe, you know, it moved pretty fast. Once it broke out of this level, it went to, you know, top 25 days later. Solana could be on a complete tear to 80 billion right now. But before we even, you know, future trip too hard, let's zoom back out and figure out the supply and figure out the market cap. So remember, the equation for a price prediction is price equals market cap divided by circulating supply. So we need to figure out that supply first. And if we go off not the projected inflation on Solana Compass, but the actual inflation, when you add the actual inflation with the unlocks as well, has been, you know, roughly 18%. So when you add this up, you're really looking at a supply somewhere between, you know, 550 million to, you know, 600 million. Ben said 589 million in his price prediction. I'm going to say somewhere between 550 and 600 million. And I know that's a range, but unlocks are strange and some of them will come out faster than others. It's a known unknown in Solana, so we have to be aware of that range. But what about the market cap? First of all, let's really appreciate how much Solana, the ecosystem, has grown. How much, you know, Solana is not the same as it was back in 2021. It was a baby back in 2021. The growth that this thing has gone through as an entire ecosystem is just astronomical, to be honest with you. Right here on Solana's website, you know, 40.7 million average daily user transactions in Q4 of 2023. They have over 3,300 active developers in Q4 of 2023. This is getting impressive. Not to mention, we know all the institutional money, all the institutional players involved in Solana, Google, Discord, Meta, Shopify, Stripe. This thing is no joke. Not to mention how much the ecosystem has been growing. Look at the meme coins. Look at Bonk. Look at the phones. Look at the phones. This tweet from a couple days ago, Solana reposted 100,000 pre-orders in less than 30 days. Look at this tweet right here. The Phantom Wallet hit 3.4 million monthly active users. It's up 220% from 1 million a year ago. Solana is on the up and up, and you cannot deny this. And I really think that this thing is going to go out of the park despite how much the supply has grown. Let's look into it. So to determine what's possible for the market cap, I always like looking at, previous dominance levels to see what is possible, considering last bull run, the top of the total market cap was around $3 trillion. And, at the all-time high, Solana had about 2.87% of the total dominance in crypto, which is pretty great, right? But if you look recently, Solana has actually put in a higher high than it has in the past in terms of dominance. And even if the total crypto market cap, for instance, goes to say, $7 trillion, and Solana was just to maintain this 2.87% dominance level. If we come over here to the coin perspective, we would see that with a $200 billion market cap, Solana would be $457. But guess what? This is with the current circulating supply. The supply is going to play a role in this. So we have to increase the supply. And I'm going to say to 550 million, although I think it could go above 550 million. I think 550 million is a good baseline. I think it will end up somewhere between 550 million and 600 million, like I said, but let's just go with 550 million. If the total crypto went to 7 trillion and it maintained the same dominance level, we'd be looking at a $363 Solana. And that's not really bad, but guess what? When we go back to this dominance level, we go back to this chart here, I really think Solana just flipped BNB, for crying out loud. I think Solana is going to solidify its spot in third place if we go Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I think it's going to remain in third place and do well in third place. I personally think that Solana could maybe even get to, 5% dominance. 5% dominance, that's a lot of money. And 5% of $7 trillion is 350 billion. So let's see what that would do over here on the coin perspective. So we go over here, type over 350 billion. What would the price of Solana be? We'd be looking at a $636 Solana. Do I think, there are people out there that think Solana could get to $1,000? I think bull case, best case scenario, sure, I could see $1,000 Solana, but I think 636, that does sound pretty good. But remember, we do not use the dominance levels as the Bible. The dominance is kind of just a guideline. So let's look into some other metrics. So this right here on your screen is a Ganfan of the last bull run's run up for Solana. And as you can see, Solana, for most of the good part of its pump, stayed above the 1-1 level. And in Gan theory, staying above the 1-1, or aka a 45-degree angle, is the most important level to stay above. And this is why this is relevant, because right here on your screen is Solana's most recent come up with a Ganfan pulled across it as well. So maybe I'll do a full video on Gan theory one day, but basically it's a relationship between time and price action based off of angles and their relevance. Really, really brilliant stuff. But I really like using Ganfans to see what can happen in future projections. And remember, in the previous bull run, Solana, did a good job staying between the 1-1 and the 1-2, where it did the majority of its pump. So let's play the tape out here on the new bull run here, like on the the beginning of the new bull run for Solana, where this represents the halving. This yellow line here represents the halving, and this is actually a really important piece I want to talk about here. We've never seen this kind of action pre-halving. This is the most insane pre-halving we've ever had. This is just the beginning. Nothing has really even happened yet. The halving's still in April. We're in the middle of February right now, and every previous crypto bull run has been in a macro phase of quantitative easing. The rate hikes that were supposed to come are getting postponed. They're getting pushed back. We are not in a phase of quantitative easing, and we might not be in a phase of quantitative easing. And crypto is still doing what it's doing when really sells the theory, sells the conviction that mass adoption is coming, and this next bull run is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen before in the past. So let's play the tape out a little bit. Let's say Solana, like last bull run, stays between the 1-1 and the 1-2 right here. So let's move this over and see where it takes us. So these two levels right here, this white line, this would represent, Q4 of 2025. So I do feel as long as Solana stays inside the same band of the GONFAN, it would make sense for Solana to end up somewhere in this window between, $366 and $800. And this is kind of why I'm shaking my head no to the $1,000 Solana price predictions, because if you look how ridiculous this chart is, actually, let me make it a little bit easier for you to see. I mean, our price actually right now is all the way down here, and this would be $800. People, for $1,000, we'd have to break into the next band of the GONFAN, and for a $2,000, we'd have to be in the top band of the GONFAN. And when people give those really bullish Solana price predictions, this is my argument against it, because Solana has never really existed in a pump in between these two layers of the GONFAN. It has always stayed between the 1-1 and the 1-2, and that's where a lot of my theory here comes from. So, based off GON theory, we're looking at somewhere between $360 to $800. But I have one more metric I want to show you, and this metric right here is a pitch fan. A pitch fan is pretty simple. It's kind of like a GONFAN, but it's easier than that. Basically, you just draw the angle from this and you pull it across to the bottom, and then it kind of projects out the prices based off of different angles. And what's really interesting about this is that if Solana, in this point of intersection, this white line right here represents the end of 2025, basically like when we're projecting the top of the bull run to be based off the Bitcoin halving cycle. If Solana was to be on this line at that point in time, it would be $635. But remember when we did the dominance level on 5%, and that would be a $350 billion market cap with the heightened supply, what it said the price would be? $636. So it is crazy to me that the dominance level projection mixed with the pitch fan projection at the end of 2025 on that one level both spits us out at $636. I think that it has to be a pretty heavy part of my price prediction here, but I also did something kind of unconventional. So this here is the GONFAN I showed you earlier from the 2021 bull run. And remember, Solana, the best part of Solana was between the 1-1 and the 1-2 level, but I did something, not exactly by the book, and it's just funny how it worked out. I drew this GONFAN from this run up and another GONFAN from the most recent run up, and the intersection between the 1-1 of the new and the 1-1 of the old would be right here at the end of 2025, which would be between $814 and $728. Something I did just for fun. It is kind of funny how it lined up like that. And also, I do want to say that, do I think Solana can hit $1,000 one day? Yes, I do. I don't think it's going to happen necessarily this bull run, just based off GON theory in general. Getting above staying above the 1-1, which would be this level here, that's the most important level in GON theory. If you lose the 1-1 level, that's kind of the beginning of the end. Getting above the 1-2 level is very, very rare, unless you're looking at like a meme coin chart, to be completely honest with you. So do I think Solana can eventually hit $1,000? Yes, according to GON theory, we would not be looking at $1,000 Solana until, August of 2026, if it was at the top of the 1-1 between the 1-2 with GON theory. And, that's kind of where a lot of where I'm going to hang my hat on this prediction. Certainly, I think for the bottom end of my prediction is going to be, $375, which would be, the bottom right here, this bottom corner here. I think the top end of my theory would be, probably $800 to $850. So that's a very wide range, but certainly considering how the GON theory and the dominance level worked out through two different methods of predictions, and I got the same numbers, my target for Solana at the top of the next bull run is going to be $636. So boom, there you go. 636, that is my target. I think it could maybe go above that. I think 850 would be the absolute top level for me, where I think 350 is the absolute bottom level, but I'm really looking for that 636. And that's still a pretty significant come up from here. I mean, that's a 473% gain from its current price at 115. So there you go. There's my Solana price prediction. Let me know down below in the comments, what you think. Am I being too bearish? Am I being too bullish? I want to know what you think and what your Solana price prediction is. I want to give a big thank you to my sponsors, PHEMEX, Market Cypher, Crypto Chips, all the links down below in the description. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out the door. My name's AJ Writes Crypto. Get rich or get wrecked. Later.